The fall of Andres Bonifacio. The year was 1897, deep in the heart of Cavite. The Philippine Revolution was burning, but instead of unity, the fire was tearing itself apart. Andres Bonifacio, the fiery supremo of the Katipunan, had lit the first sparks of freedom in Balintawak. But here, in Cavite, the Katipunan had split. Two factions, two visions. The Magdiwang, who stood with Bonifacio, and the Magdalo, led by Emilio Aguinaldo, the Tejeros Convention. On March 22, 1897, the two sides met at Tejeros. A convention meant to unify, but it became Bonifacio's undoing. Inside the hall, tempers flared. Aguinaldo was elected president of the new revolutionary government. Bonifacio, humiliated and accused of lacking formal education, was pushed aside. In a cold voice, he stood and declared, "I, as Supremo of the Katipunan, do not recognize this election. I dissolve this assembly in the name of the people." But no one listened. The Supremo's power was slipping. The arrest. Weeks later, betrayal struck. Bonifacio and his brothers were resting in Limbon, Indang, Cavite, when forces loyal to Aguinaldo stormed in. Gunfire erupted. In the chaos, Bonifacio's brother Chiriaco was killed, and Andres himself was slashed across the neck and arm with a polo. Bloodied and weakened, he was dragged away with his brother Procopio. The Supremo, the man who once commanded thousands, was now a prisoner. The trial. In Maragondon, Bonifacio and Procopio faced trial. The charges: treason, sedition, conspiracy against the very revolution Bonifacio had begun. The evidence was thin, the witnesses questionable, but the verdict was already written. Both were sentenced to die. At first, Aguinaldo hesitated. He commuted the sentence to exile, but his generals, fearing Bonifacio might rise again, pressured him. Finally, Aguinaldo signed the order. The Supremo must die. The execution. May 10, 1897. The morning was gray at Mount Nagpatong, in the mountains of Maragondon. Bonifacio and Procopio were led through the forest, their hands bound, their faces pale but defiant. Andres Bonifacio, once the roaring lion of Balintawak, was silent now. The firing squad raised their rifles. A command was shouted. Gunfire cracked through the trees. When the smoke cleared, the Supremo of the Katipunan, father of the revolution, lay lifeless on the earth. There was no monument, no flag, no ceremony, only the whisper of the wind through the mountains. Legacy. Thus ended the life of Andres Bonifacio, not at the hands of Spain, but by his fellow Filipinos. His dream of freedom outlived him, carried by others, but his death left a scar that history never forgot. He was the flame that lit the revolution and the flame that his own brothers extinguished.